All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and I just wanted to cover the new characters that are available with these new stones. We have I believe it's the LR Premium Stone 3 and the UR Premium Stone 3 is what these are called. I mean, these are... dude, Turles is a pretty recent character to just buy at, like, that's pretty good. Again, Turles, I mean, if we're on global, I mean, Turles was maybe, what, like October or something like that of last year? So it's like, Turles would be under a year old on global, which is actually pretty crazy that he would just show up kind of like this fast. I mean, you do have to pay real money for it. Yeah, Turles came on October 5th, 2023 for global. That's so crazy. On JP, Turles came out in May of 2023. So here's all the options that we have right there. I just wanted to start by showing this. Let's swap over and we could talk about these stones, right? Now, again, these are stones you do have to buy. So, I mean, I guess this is only going to be geared towards paying players for this one. I try my best, you know, as much as possible to encourage players not to really spend money on this game as much as you can. I mean, I always try to say, like, if you are enjoying it and stuff like that, and you're not going crazy, like, you know, knock yourselves out. You know, don't let someone tell you how to spend your money if it's not, like, dipping very deep into, like, you know, being an issue. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Now, buying, like, regular stone stuff like that throughout the year, if you're gonna buy, though, stuff like this is where you'd want to do it. Because let's look at this. So, you get 80 stones plus one of the UR Premium Stone 3s, and then 100 stones plus the UR Premium Stone 3 right there. So you're able to get 3 of these, and then you buy the last step, and you get the LR Premium Stone. Yeah, so it's a bunch of stones and guaranteed units, right? And the characters, you know, like we just showed right there, the characters that we're able to get right there, they are, whatchamacallit, all Dokkan Awakened and max level. I think that is definitely something that can be pretty solid for players, right? Like, to not have to, like, grind Dokkan events and stuff like that. It does seem like Dokkan kind of realizes, like, oh, people aren't really enjoying doing a Dokkan event, you know, 11 times for no reason. That's why, you know, we have the power level bonus, we have the support medal, like, campaign, like, kind of like missions every celebration. But the easiest way for them to solve that problem, I've said this many times, just create a new difficulty stage that's just like red zone level. I mean, it's not tough. All they have to do is just bump the boss's stats up, right? Like, make it, you know, like a red zone like type stage right now. So, like, the Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, you know, on this theoretical big difficulty stage, you know, maybe they would drop like 50 medals, or maybe they'd even drop all 77. And well, you only need 70 to awaken the LR, but they could drop all 70 in one run, and, you know, their super attacks could be like 3 million supers and stuff like that, right? Like, kind of like the new Supreme Magnificent Battle stages. I think that would be good. I think people would enjoy that. And it would also definitely make the game feel like it has more content if every Dokkan event was going to have a stage of that difficulty, right? So I don't think that would be a terrible idea. So let's take a look at the characters that we're able to pick with the UR Stone first, because, I mean, even if you're paying, I'm sure there's at least one person who's going to buy, like, the first one, but is not going to continue buying or anything like that. So the first one, no matter what, you get one of these, then you get 2 more of the UR Stones, and then finally you get the LR Stone at that point. Alright, so let's see. We're going to have potentially up to 3 stones, right? Now, if you've only bought, like, the first one, you'd have 1, but all the characters right here, all these TURs, they all do cost 1 stone. So if you get the full step up, you'd be able to pick out 3 of them. I mean, I guess Trunks is here just from his relation to the Broly movie, but, like, this is just a banner unit next to all these Dokkan Fest exclusives, right? Is that not odd? Yeah, there's 1 banner unit. I mean, I presume it means he's going to EZA during this celebration. He is the ban unit for this Broly, so it probably would make a ton of sense if they would ease a literally at the same exact time. I mean, we saw this. I mean, I remember specifically 2 years ago when AJL Metal Cooler, Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta, and STR Piccolo, all from the same Metal Cooler movie, they all easied at the exact same time, right? I could see the same thing happening with Trunks, where Broly will easy, which is confirmed. So Broly should be easying, probably the third. It's probably the third, because that's when I believe it's the new stages to the Dragon Ball Z Memorable Battles event. A stage against Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, and then Broly, which we can get equips for them. Those stages drop, again, I believe, on the 3rd. So that's probably when Int Broly's going to come out, which means we'd probably see his details on Sunday, on the 1st. I would imagine, for Int Broly. Trunks, very likely, will be with him. That's why he's here. Now, we could look at the top 3. These are 2023 TURs. So obviously any 2022 TURs, I mean, they're dead. They're not really going to have any use. I mean, I think that the Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, with the way they're structured and their ridiculous support, I do think that we could get away with much weaker characters on their team, right? It's kind of like, Beast can directly just use his active skill. Well, Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, I mean, they're just covering the entire team in that big defensive support, which is good. But Turles, Kale, and the 17s just aren't really good. Like, they're not good enough to rock in these fights. Turles, I guess you could kind of sort of get away with him if he's like never attacked, but it's like he gets 1,000,000 defense with 20% damage reduction. I mean, that's like fish level. It's a fish. Like, that's getting one shot by normals level in how hard like these kind of like newer big fights are, right? Like a lot of the fights we've gotten recently. So I'm not too high on Turles. Kale has certainly aged as well. Then the thing is that a lot of these characters, they had kind of like wonky designs even the day they came out. They're obviously kind of like done. I think like look more so focusing probably with this stone on like the 2021 characters and before. So starting with STR Kid Buu, right? Like these are all kind of like 2020. Like the order in which they're displayed here is the order of release. Yeah, it is exactly. This is the exact release order that all these characters had. It is, yeah. I probably wouldn't recommend the bottom row right here. Well, actually, except for it is the order of release. And then it kind of, I guess, because Broly came out after them, and Exchange Buu came out before Janemba. So I guess there's two things that are kind of messed up. Whatever, not a big deal. I think focusing on a character who hasn't easy-aid yet, that you might not have rainbowed or something like that, would be a good idea. So potentially grabbing like Pycon, or again Goten and Trunks, who will probably get their easy during the celebration. In Broly potentially, Tech Janemba, those types of characters. These guys have their easy A's already past their prime. STR Cooler, Metal Cooler, Gogeta, Broly. I mean, at this point, we're waiting on their super easy A's. Who knows when those will come? But that's kind of the stage, right, with these characters down there. Exchange Buu is a decent character right now. Actually, Exchange Buu is probably the best character on here at the exact moment. Right? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Exchange Buu is definitely the best character on here right now. But I'm sure in a couple of days, it'll probably be Int Broly. Trunks will probably be very effective as well. Although, remember, he is a hybrid Saiyan support. So it'll be interesting if maybe they could add another type of support onto that Trunks to make it to where he works well with the Goku, Gohan, and Trunks. Maybe like they toss Earthbred Fighter support on him. It would have to be a category he's on. Well, I guess it doesn't, but it probably would be a category he's on. Damn, look how... This is so crazy because he was so good when he came out. And look at this pass. Dude. Oh my god. In my brain I feel like he's not that old, but yeah, I guess he is. So what could he buff? Maybe Movie Hero? Like he supports Hybrid Saiyan and Movie Hero. Or Super Saiyans. Could be, yeah, like Hybrid Saiyan and Super Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyan and Earthbred Fighter, Hybrid Saiyan and Movie Hero. Because, Goku Trunks and Gohan, those are like other categories they would be on. I would assume that the Trunks would, try and help this character out. That to me would make a ton of sense. I think that they probably should do that, but we'll see if that's actually what they're gonna go ahead and do. So yeah, definitely go for one of the older characters who are potentially on the verge of an EZA. I mean, Pikkon and Janemba are 2020 Dokkan Fests. Most of the 2020 Dokkan Fests have EZA'd at this point. Who hasn't? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Bojack. Who was October? Angel Golden Frieza, who also has not. Yeah, I guess the end of 2020, a bunch of those characters have not EZA'd several months in a row. But that's, of course, where Pikkon and Janemba are. They're the end of 2020, right? Then right here, you'll be able to have one of these to grab one of these characters. I feel like I'm probably in a similar, thinking, idea with this one. In that you probably don't want to go for, this guy. Right? This guy has already, he EZA'd 3 years ago. We're waiting on his Super EZA. They're done. They're just Super Class STR Cooler, Gohan and Goten. This guy is probably going to EZA during the celebration. When I say probably, it's 99%. And I could see him being really explosively good. On that movie bosses team, along with, Tech Broly, he could be really crazy. Carnival Broly as, a defensive god, and then this guy could mop up offensively. I could see it. I could see it easily. I wouldn't recommend the androids at this point. Super Power Absorb Goku, hell no. I mean, Broly-chan and Lemo, they do have nice value as a stronger villain character. Right, I could foresee a lot of help that Broly-chan Lemo will give you for doing missions, mission-based content they could be helpful with. STR UI is just so unneeded at this point. He's probably better than almost all of the community gives him credit for, but it's just his teams are stacked that there's just no room for him. I mean, he's closing in on a year old too on JP, which is crazy. Buhan is certainly effective, but I mean, with the little bit of the bump in content over the last couple of months, I mean, he's not quite as good. Turles could be a good pick. If Terrifying Conquerors gets a team, Turles is a lot better. Turles is easily runnable and very effective on Carnival Broly's movie bosses team, but Turles will be even better if he could be run on a Big Bad Bosses, Terrifying Conqueror type setup, 100%. And then we can look at some of these guys like Super 17, Tech Gogeta, and Janemba. I mean, they could EZA at any point. They're definitely in range of characters that could EZA. I would say with Tech Gogeta and Janemba, though, I feel like 10th Anniversary is going to have Super Vegito and Super Gogeta in it. Because Dokkan hasn't really touched those characters in quite a while. So I think new versions of them for 10th Anniversary makes a ton of sense. And then Tech Gogeta could potentially EZA, Janemba could potentially EZA, right? Several characters like that, we could see them actually get their EZAs. Dokkan probably made a little bit of a booby by not EZAing Tech Gogeta very, very close to STR Vegito, right? I feel like those characters, they're almost designed to be dual Dokkan Fest characters, but that's not the way it worked out, right? I don't know. I think that they should just EZA this character, but whatever. Then this top class, these four are 2022 LRs, and then obviously Super Boo is 2023. So Super Boo, no way, because he's a while away from his EZA. We're moving into range where these characters soon could become EZA-able. As of right now, Dokkan only EZAs characters from the year after the anniversary LRs have started EZAing. So, in 2025, that's when the 7th anniversary LRs will EZA in February. And then from there, I think we could start to see any 2022 characters begin to EZA. So, maybe next year. But you probably would want to grab, maybe Tech Broly here or Turles. Or aim for one of these three right here who potentially could EZA soonish. It's funny, I feel like I'm looking a little bit more optimistically on these right here, like getting some of these guys who might EZA. A lot of these LRs in this have already aged out, or I just don't see as much value in them. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. So, all right, let me know what you guys decide to do for the stones right here. Always good to be able to get guaranteed characters like this, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't had a chance to get like Kale yet or Physical Turles, and then bam, you know, you could just get one of these packs. It gives you a nice amount of stones, and you could get one of the characters just bam, you could just grab them. That's always good. Avoiding the gotcha mechanic of, you know, just good luck and bad luck and being able to just outright pick the character up is always very nice. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.